That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
My entire life, I've never seen you be selfish. There's not one time. Like, I can seriously try to recount my whole life, try to remember it, and I have literally the worst memory. But I've never seen you be selfish. Like, no matter what you've had, you've always offered. Even if you liked it or it was your favorite, if I liked it, you'd give it to me. Or if anyone liked it, you'd give it to them. There's not one time you didn't offer something, or if someone was like, oh, I like that you made this, and you're like, oh, have it. Here, it's okay. You want more? Or, I've seen you eat with homeless people. I've seen you go out of your way to go give something to someone, or go buy something for someone, or cook for someone, even if you haven't eaten yet, or you're starving, or you're on a fast, or like you're so selfless. And I could sit here and be like, I'm selfish. I know for sure I'm selfish sometimes, and I could be like with you, I could be selfish. Like someone's like, I love your mom, and I'm like, don't touch her, leave her alone. Like, you love her from a distance. This is mine, you know. Or no matter what it is, I know for a fact I've been selfish. Eli's been selfish. Well, I've never seen Dad be selfish either.
Yeah, he's not. I was gonna say that.
I've
right now.
never seen. Whoa.
That is the same way too.
You know what? I've never seen you or Dad boast about anything. I've never heard you guys brag about yourselves. I've never once heard you brag about yourself. Like, you've been like, oh yeah, I've done this, I've done that. But you weren't like, oh yeah, I did that. I've never seen you brag about yourself. Yeah, that's another thing. That's crazy. I've never seen you or Dad. This is the both of you. I've never seen you guys be selfish. I've never seen either of you brag or boast or like get a big head. I've never seen you guys steal. You've never taken anything.
We're not like that anymore.
Yeah,
we used to do that when we were lost in the world.
No, but I mean, like, like my entire life, you guys never shown like these characteristics, or like you guys never been in my lifetime. I've never seen you guys be vengeful. Like if someone did something, you're like, it wasn't like, And it's always been like, if I heard something, I'm like, oh yeah, they deserved it, or da da da, and you're like, oh no, pray for them. Da, da, da.
God's grace covered.
And I'm like, oh no, shawty, I do something. But yeah, no, I've never seen you guys brag or be selfish. Yeah, that's like a legacy. I mean, you really think about it when you hear people say like, oh, they were never selfish, they were always loving, they gave so much. You hear that when people talk about like
people that
Gandhi,
die.
yeah, Gandhi, or like people who made world history on someone like peacemakers, Martin Luther King, like Gandhi. I don't know really much anyone else because I don't care about history that much. But yeah, you hear people talk about these people like they were so selfless, they did things for everybody else, da 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 da. And I'm like, wow, you guys have these qualities. I've never seen you be like, no, that's mine, or no matter what it's been. Like we go get your favorite food sometimes, and you're still like, you want to try it? And I'm like, I know, I don't. I never wanted to try that. I don't like it at all. But you're still like, or if you're eating something at the dinner table, you could be enjoying it. But if I'm like, can I have some? Or I look at it a little too long, you're like, here you go, you can have it. And I'm like, you don't want it? You're like, no, I want it, but you can have it. You like it more. Like, I wouldn't know. If I like something, best believe I'm going to chow it down. Like,
no, you can't have any.
Yeah, I'll give you a bite. Like,
maybe.
Yeah, no, see, that's another thing. Like, I started learning bits of selflessness through you. Like, I naturally at the core, I'm selfish. I don't like sharing. I don't care to share.
About human nature.
Yeah, like human nature, right? But it's never been your human nature. That's what I mean. Like, there's not one point I've seen you ever be like, mine. It's always been like, oh yeah, it's mine, but you can have it too. Well, if you want it, go ahead.
You know, the crazy, when I hear something crazy, that even when I was lost in the world and in addiction.
Poor, yep.
And in addiction.
Or yeah, and you still share.
Yeah, I still share.
She was like, you want to? Like, starts caring. And you've never, that's crazy.
But now I get to share the word of God. I get to share what God has done in my life. Yeah. But man, God is good. And that's one thing, you know what? We are living by example, and we want to pass the baton to our children. So you guys live a life
like now
that
when
as well.
now when we go to Jack in the Box and if I get a burger, I'm like, here, mom, and I'll let you take the first
Yes,
bite.
you do. You always do that.
And that's like my active selflessness. But I see, like a random person, I don't think I'd just be like,
have a bite.
Have a bite. Or like a friend, like, I am very much like you. Like, I am selfless like that. But when it comes to something I really like, I have a harder time. But with you, it's like no matter how much you like something, like, you just still like, oh, you like it, here you go. Like, that's crazy to me. Dad, too. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to Dad and been like, can I have a bite? No.
Here you go.
And he looks so pissed off. But he still shares. Mm-hmm. Or like, it's a little different. It's a little different. But yeah, that's never boastful, never selfish.
Wow, he's blessed me today. Thank you.
I'll take those two. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll boast myself. I brag about myself. I'm like, I'm pretty cool. I mean, sometimes I'll be like, I kind of suck. But at the end of the day, I know I'm pretty awesome.
Yes, you are. You're amazing.
But but you've always boasted about others. I've never heard you talk about yourself. Like, and when you have talked about yourself, it's been like, I'm a humble servant of God. I am cool. Like, I'd say something like, I'd boast myself so hard. Like,
I'm a Kool-Aid kid.
If I personally was you, I'm humble. Nah, then I wouldn't sound humble. Because you can't brag about being humble. I wouldn't lead with that. No, I could cook. I can cook real good. Like, the thing is, so you're like, yeah, I could cook, I cook for my family. I cook, if you want something. But, like, I've never heard you be like, oh, I'm such a good cook. I could cook anything from nothing. Like, I've heard you say that, but you were like, yeah, I can, whatever you have.
Yeah,
I can make it out of something like.
Yeah,
but you said it so humbly.
Let me get in your fridge and I'll clean up your fridge and make you a couple of meals.
Yeah, you've always said it like that. I've never, like, that's the thing. You've never bragged. If I was you, I'd brag so hard.
No, God doesn't like us to be boastful.
I could cook.
We're supposed to have humility.
God loves me. Like,
I'm his favorite.
Like, I could pray. Whatever you got going on, cast it out. I did it to my daughter. I took her headache away. I be bragging so hard. Like, I did that.
That's the power of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
babe.
yeah.
That's not me.
But I'm saying, like, it's cool, though. Because, like, you were cooperating. So it was like, I would brag. I'm being honest here. Like, if I was you, if I had certain things that you had, or if I had some capabilities that you had, or some characteristics.
You have a lot of
I know I do, and I do brag about them. That's what I'm saying. If I was in your shoes, I'd brag about them.
You can cook. You're kind. You're giving. I can. You're a great motivator.
No, that's what I'm saying is you always boast about other people, and I can personally boast about myself because I can get cocky. But I'm saying, like, if I personally was you, I'd brag about myself a lot. But I've never seen you brag about yourself. You've never been like, oh yeah, I'm like this, I'm like that. It's always been other people. You've never once said something about yourself.
And that's what happens, when you allow God to work in your life, and you get rid of all these things that
even when you compliment yourself, you humble yourself. Like you're like, oh, I love the way I look today. I may have these old wrinkles and but I love myself.
Yes.
It's never been like, man, I look so good. I mean, sometimes I walk in the mirror and I'm like, you're so sexy. Like, but I've never seen you do that to yourself, or you're just been like, oh, God loves me, or something. It's about your inner person, like your external shell that you have. You don't brag about it, but you'll only compliment what's on the inside.
There you go.
But it's not bragging either.
I'm trying not to.
What do you mean try not to? You've never done it. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen it. My whole life, I've never seen it. I gotta ask Daddy. Has she ever been selfish? See, he could tell me no, too. Most likely, he'll tell me no. Because now, I've never seen it in an example of anything in your entire life that I've been with you, me and you, my entire life. Not yours. You're older than me. My entire life. I've never seen you be selfish with anyone. Like, no matter what. Even if that person had it already. Like, here you go.
Do you should call your brother and find out.
I know. I gotta get his proof on this too. Has mom ever been selfish?
I tell you stories, crazy stories, but not. I don't care about
Yeah,
selfish.
see, we could tell you stories about times, maybe probably where, oh, our mom, she maybe got a little hot-headed, or she hurt my feelings,
Oh no,
or
that boy has seen me throwing TVs out of the second
that's
story.
what I'm saying, is like, that's what I'm saying, he'll probably be like, we saw this, or I saw that, or da-da-da, and it may be something, but it's all external. But you see, like, we might say something, but it's either in the past, it's already done with, it was something small, or just in the physical world. And it was just like, but at the end of the day, like, we really can't say anything bad about your character as a person. Like, yeah, we all get upset. We all say things. We all do things. Like, that's,
Normal.
yeah, that's
It's all every
external
day.
stuff. Yeah.
But that's the thing. The goal is
But
daily.
who you
My
are as
daily.
a person, like, the core essence of who you are isn't a bad person. That's what we're trying to say. Like, we've never seen you be selfish. I've never seen you brag. I've never seen you intentionally put someone down. Like, I've never seen you try to break someone on purpose. Like, if you've said something, it's always been an accident.
And then I apologize. I learned to
Yeah,
apologize.
you've learned to
Man, that was
apologize.
messed up. I'm sorry.
You've never went out of your way on purpose to ill intent someone. Like, I've never personally seen that. Like, you go out of someone, or you've been like if someone did me dirty, I'm like, well, what can I do to make your day a little bit bad? Or, like, I could piss you off. But I've never seen you try to do that. I've never seen you try to hurt someone, or try to make their day worse, even if they were absolutely nasty to you.
Yes, or get back at them. That's one of the
Yeah.
things I've learned, in the past, this past year and a half, to have encountered, situations like that when people are nasty to you, or mistreat you, or say things to you, or act, pop off on you and stuff like that. I was like, wait a minute. Here, let me love you. You just need a hug. You need a hug.
Yeah, yesterday at work, some lady, she was like, give me a straw. She told me I remade her drink. I didn't make her drink the first time. I was on my break. I was on my 30-minute break. I was on my lunch. And I went to my coworker station, my coworker Karina. She had a line, and I was like, let me help the next guest. So she's like, give me a pina colada. And I was like, it's 17 only cash. Is that okay? Yes. I said, give me one. I was like, okay. So I started making it for her, and all the pineapples were pretty small, but I found like the biggest one. So I was like, I'll just grab that one. Maybe she's having a rough day. I don't know. I just poured the drink, whatever's already in the blender. I did not make anything. Hand her drink, she pays me, and then I see her stand to the side all pissed off. But I can't approach her because I'm still helping her. I'm trying to get the flow of the line to go. Yeah. So I was on breaks. I was chilling. I was like, well, I'm not doing nothing. Might as well. She has a line. She looks like she's stressing.
Yeah.
And
let's see, that's a good
she was so upset. And like, she's super sweet. She's super sweet. And I was like, yeah, da da da. And then I turned around. I was like, can I help you? She was like, no tiene sabor. Yeah. There's nothing. Blend. And I was like, I did not make it. She goes, well, make me a new one. And I was like, and I look at Karina, and she was like, just make her a new one. And I was like,
yeah, because sometimes the girls, they don't make it good. It's all.
And she was like, it's kind of watered down. And I was like, why did you? Okay. And so, like, when it's watered down, I make sure that if it's watered down, to add a little extra syrup, and then fix it with ice. Because I'm not trying to remake a drink. Because remaking a drink takes way longer than fixing a drink. So I was like, okay. I dump out whatever's in the blender. Boom. And then I start making her a new drink. She's standing there super pissed off, just looking at me make the drink the whole time. I'm trying not to pay attention to her. I'm making the drink as fast as I can. And every time I make the drink, I hook it up too. Yeah. And so I'm like putting the drink in, and it's not filled to the top. It's about like halfway. And I'm almost done, but I'm taking a while. Because it takes a while. Yeah. And she's like, ya estuvo. Like, yelling at me like I'm a damn kid. I'm like, and then I still give her whipped cream on top. And I handed her pineapple, and she snatches it out of my hand. Wow. And she's like, dame una popote. And I was like, okay. I grab her a straw, she snatches it out of my hand, and her daughter was like, please, thank you, sorry. And I look at her daughter, and I'm like, it's okay. And I'm like, ooh, lady, for your own daughter to say thank you, you're bitter like this all the time.
I'm sure the poor kid has to deal with her.
Because I was like, you know what? In the past, I've been in situations where, like, I've seen you, like, get, like, not like a Karen. I've seen you act like a Karen, like, twice. I'm gonna admit that. I've seen it, like, twice. And I've sat there, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And you were in the right,
but not there was some leeway.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be on.
Was it the time that I had to like say something because of a girl, like I think at a cashier? Was it that time?
Or it was a guy. It was involving a guy.
I don't remember.
And no, it wasn't at Yogurtland. That was a valid time.
Oh yeah.
That was valid. You were in the right. But there was another time. I think we were in the store or something, and you were saying something, and the guy was just like, "Well, ma'am, like da da da," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." He's like, and so he handled it, and then you walked out, and I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, it's okay. We all have a rough day," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I was probably having a rough
Yeah.
day, but see,
And we got in the car, and you were like, and I was like, Mom, you're like, no, don't. And so we dropped it, and so I'm looking at this woman so bitter. She was so rude, and the whole time I was like, lady, I want to cuss you out so bad, but you know what? It's not worth it. No. I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on
she definitely
in your mind. I don't know what's going on in your heart.
Uh-huh.
You old bitter hag. But you know what, man? God bless you. I was like, what would my mom do? She'd give this lady a drink, smile on her face.
Let me pray for her.
And continue on with her day. And I was like, man, Lord, you bless her. Because I ain't thinking the right thing. Yeah. Because I was like, you can say please and you can say thank you. And you don't have to snatch stuff out of my hand. And you don't have to yell at me. Mm-hmm. Like, I did not have to make you another drink. I did not make you this drink in the first place. So first off, I'm on my break. Second of all, I remake your drink. Third of all, I give you whipped cream. And fourth of all, I'm nice enough to give you a straw. And you still rude? Huh? I was like, Karina, can you believe people? And she was like, yeah, people suck.
Some people suck.
And I was like, oh. And then I walk away, right? I go back to my stand. And then I get a couple minutes pass by.
He's like making himself comfortable under the blanket. He just wrapped himself in the blanket. I know. I gotta go take a picture of him.
He's so cute. Yes. I go back to my station. My break finishes. I go back. A couple minutes pass by. Not thinking anything of it. And then a gentleman approaches me. He's like, what do you recommend? And I was like, personally, he was like, yeah. He goes, well, which one do you think I should drink? Mango or pineapple? I was like, personally, I like a mixed. I was like, that's the way I drink them. You know, I was like, that's what I'm drinking right now. He goes, okay, I'll trust you. Give me mixed. And I was like, okay. I was like, how's your day going so far? He goes, it's going pretty good. I'm about to leave with my mother right now. We just celebrated her birthday. Aww. And I was like, well, happy birthday to your mother. I hope you had a wonderful time. He was like, thank you. I hope you had a good day too. So we made each other's day. Yeah, we had like this little chit chat. And then he goes, so how much is this drink? And I was like, 10. And he was like, perfect. He pulls out a 20 and he goes, how about you keep that for yourself? And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, you have a good one. Thanks for making my day. Aww. And I was like, of course. And then I was like, oh, hell yeah. I was like, $10, 10? Woo! And then after that, I was like, man, that lady didn't even bother me. No. I was like, she went home. I was like, you know what? Probably the only part of her day that was good was that delicious drink. And you know what? I can't be mad. Or whatever the case may be. Like, she just looked upset.
We don't know. That's why you don't go around, because people don't. We know people are going through.
At the end of the day, she's going to go home upset.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, she just upset me at work. And I'm going to go home just fine. Yeah. And I was like, you know, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, I come home and I'm like, Mom, can you believe this? And you're like, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, yeah, weird, I'm okay. But I don't know what she goes home to. She might go home and esposo might be like, get out, I hate you.
She has a drunk husband at home waiting for her, an abuser, or maybe she don't have a husband, is struggling to be a single mom. So
and I was like, you know what?
Sometimes we gotta look beyond the imperfections on the outside.
Oh, her daughter was older than me. Oh. She looked old. She was an older woman, maybe about 40s, 50s. She looked like, you know, whatever. And she just looked so upset in her face. Yeah. And her whole face just showed like, I've been miserable my whole life. And everyone's going to know I was miserable and struggled. And she just had that type of face, yeah.
Everyone's going to pay for it.
Yeah, because I had a hard life. Everyone around me today's day is going to suck. You know, she just had one of those faces. And I just smiled at her. Like, after she snatched, like, out of my hand, I was like, and her daughter was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, don't worry about it. Enjoy it. She was like, thank you. She's like, can I have some napkins? And I was like, yeah, of course. I give her some napkins. And by that time I give her, like, napkins, her mom's already halfway stormed off.
All pissed off. Probably
yeah, all pissed off. Yeah. Drinking her drink, all pissed off. Like, this is good, but I'm upset. Like, you know. And the whole time I'm just like, wow, that's okay.
You know, this blessed me today to hear you say that because it shows me that, it reminds me that doing the right thing matters, that being kind matters, that living a life that honors God in every
Yeah, I
way.
think it
If
does.
you guys are watching, you
Yeah,
guys
because
are,
imagine being pissed off and then having your order messed up and then having to wait for another one.
yeah,
I mean, I
we've
understand.
been before.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, so it's
You
like,
know what? My food is cold. You know me, I'll send it back every time if it's cold. Like, you know what? This is cool. You know, I like my food hot.
I ain't cooking for that woman. But I didn't even make her drink. But I was like, she was like, no tienes hot. I was like, want me to make you a new one? Just make me a new one. I was like, she's so demanding with it. Like, if I understand, like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Because,
Definitely.
like, because you could call someone stupid in a nice way. Because someone's like, I've had customers come up to me and be like, so what's the difference between the mango water and the pineapple? And I've been like, well, what do you think is the difference? I mean, we have, this one is more like chunks, and I was like, and this one's more like, you know, pulp. And they're like, yeah, I think, yeah, let me get the mango. And I'm like, you know, so it's like, are you kind of slow here?
No, because,
you know,
okay? Like, if they don't know, if they see, okay, they just see the flavor, but they don't know what's the difference.
No, but...
Well, there's the obvious, huh?
No, a lot of people really ask, like...
Stupid questions.
Stupid questions. Like, so, the pina colada comes with pineapple, right? No, mango.
But you know what? Some people don't know what the word pina means. For us, yeah, because you're Hispanic and you know that pina means pineapple, but some other people don't. What's a pina colada? They heard the name, they know it's a pina colada, it comes out pineapple. What's in it? You have somebody asked you that question before. So you have to have patience and grace.
Yeah, no.
Pray before you go to work.
It really taught me, like, a lot of people lack self-awareness. A lot of people lack intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Common decency.
Common sense.
And common sense. Common sense, that's what it's called. Because I really look at people, and I expect people to have common sense. You know, naturally, because I'm self-aware and I have common sense, I naturally expect people to have the same things as well.
Yeah.
And then my problem is, when people lack it, I'm like, I get upset. And I'm like, are you dumb or are you dumb? Like, and then I realized a lot of people lack it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't be mad.
Yeah, you gotta show grace.
It's not my fault you're dumb. I didn't do nothing. How can I be mad?
I just work here.
I've literally had some lady scream at me, and she's like, this is inflammation. You're suckling off the people. Da 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 da. These prices are ridiculous. And I just look at her and I'm like, ma'am, I'm just an employee. I don't have nothing to do with any of these prices. And she was like, no, you're a part of the problem. That you're working for these people. I need a job. What? That's like if you were to work for a multi-million-dollar company like Coca-Cola, and all you do is put a sticker on the Coke. And Coke may be against all the rights you believe in, and you're contributing to the problem, but you just work there because you need a job.
You need to support your family, yourself.
How can I be mad at you?
You have to have money to buy your tacos and your burgers.
I know, lady. I was like, man, lady, I just work here so I can feed myself. Stop it. Yeah, I done nothing to you.
Like you have nothing to eat at home. All right.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? People tell me that all the time. They're like, oh, you must never eat out. You got a chef at home. And I'm like, you know what's crazy? Is I love these simplest, stupidest things. Like I love Jack in the Box tacos. I geek over them. I love Taco Bell and the
chalupa box.
And the chalupa. And people are like, why would you want to go out? And I'm like, you know what? I don't go to restaurants because I'm disappointed at restaurants. But fast food smacks. I love that. Like,
the only thing you're not getting here home because I don't have a high temperature deep fryer.
You know what? If people tell me that all the time, they're like, the only reason you like that is because your mom can't make it. I'm like, no, trust me, she'll figure out a way. The only reason she doesn't make it is because she doesn't have the proper tools.
Yeah.
I was like, she can make it though.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't learn how. I like Jack in the Box tacos.
You can have it because I love Jack in the Box tacos.
Yeah, they're so cheap and they're sucky, but they're so good.
I taught who was it, Roberta, I think, and a couple of people. I taught them how to order the tacos, and they go, "Oh my God, I never knew I could do that." Order the tacos, extra lettuce, tomatoes, and onions, and the taco is stuffed with veggies, and you get full with two, and a cup of water. You don't have to buy a soda because the soda's bad for you, and then you get more calories and sugar.
I've seen, for real, you be thinking about like this. She's like, "Can I get a junior bacon cheeseburger with a double patty?" You're smart like that.
Yeah.
She's like, "No this, no that, no that." She's like, "Look, $1 something or
Yeah.
$2,
Yeah.
and it's a double patty."
Yeah, and you order like that, it's $14 by itself.
For real, yeah, I get the combo meal. Yeah.
See, I'm very frugal, and I've learned a lot of things because I had a mother. Like I said, we were poor, and we didn't have all the resources and all the things that we have here in America. But even when she was here, I still watch her be resourceful. That's why I'm the way that I am. And you're learning. Even Eli, oh, this bag can be used. Mom, look, still good. He washes his little Ziploc bag and goes, yeah, we can use it tomorrow. And he puts it on top of the stove and dries it up. So I think I'm doing.
No, it's crazy to me now because when I see people waste stuff, I'm like, why would you throw that away? You could use it. Or like, if someone throws away like a container that we get from like a to-go place, like every time we get a container from like a to-go place, I'm like, ooh, I wonder what she could put in here. I automatically, like, we just finished eating, and I'm like, I wonder what she's going to cook and put in this
and then you
container.
See me fill it up with food and take it to church and bless somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, we have so much containers, so much food, so much little things because you're just like, sale. Perfect timing. And then you're like, because most of the time you don't buy food for us. You buy it as an act of selflessness. That's another thing. That's what I'm saying. My entire life, you've always constantly gotten things for, for others. Excuse me. You've constantly gotten things for others. You've constantly went out your way to do things for others. You've bought things just because someone else might like it. You saved things because someone might need it. Like, woman, I've seen you bring home a baby stroller. And I was like 14 and Eli was older too. And I'm like, why did you bring home a stroller? She's like, well, there's a mother who might need it.
And what do? I take a picture of it, put it on Facebook,
yep.
and then it's mother, I want it.
Yeah, and a couple of days it's gone. And I'm like, whoa.
Like right now, last night, I think we came home and there's a bench outside, a workbench. You see it?
There's a stationary bike.
No, that was a stationary bike over there.
Today.
Today. But the bench is right here in the back. A nice bench. Like a bench, what do you call bench press bench? It's right in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really nice one. So I took some pictures of it and I go, okay, you know what? For grabs. Right here on 20, and I said 22nd and Grand in the corner is a stationary bike, and the other one's in the back of my alley on 22nd and 23rd in the back alley. So
next time you shouldn't say my alley. Just be like on the alley on 23rd. So all of a sudden people might know your alley and be like, where's Dorian at? Follow the smell. Follow the smell.
Follow the smell. Yeah. Well, it's been a great conversation. Thank you for blessing me
today.
Our
neighbors are lucky. Every time you cook, it smells good in that alley, I bet. Because I come home sometimes from the bus and I can smell the food from like
this
down
morning
the
he
way.
like us, what's the smell? He's like, what's? I go, oh, I smell the beans are boiling. He goes, how do you smell the beans boiling? I go, I smell the cumin in it. And he goes, how? And he come in and I told him, he goes, oh yeah, I smell it. And I go, yeah.
I smell it sometimes too. Like, I can smell when you're cooking something sometimes by the smell of oil. Like, I'll smell oil.
And I usually don't.
Not usually. Oil. No, I meant like, no. That's how I know when you're actually like making something. It's because I can smell oil. That's why it's rare. My sense of smell kind of sucks. You know what I can really smell? When you're cooking chiles. No. We go off of that. We all know when you're cooking chiles.
And even the dog is sneezing. Everybody's sneezing,
we feel it
coughing.
in our lungs. We just allspice. It's like breathing in pepper spray. And you laugh at us every time. We all start like suffocating in homemade pepper spray. We start coughing and turning all the fans, and you're just like, it's fine, guys. It's just a little heat. The only one of us not dying from inhaling spice in our lungs.
That's me.
You just open the door. Turn the fans. You're being dramatic.
I've seen my poor Eli, my husband, my kids, and the dogs run out of the house when I turned the oven on. I forgot they had chiles in the pan.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh,
my chiles. Yeah, we're fine, Mom.
And you're more. Yeah, that's so funny too. Is after you burn them, you're like, my chiles, no. Yeah, Mom, we're all fine. It's not like we didn't suffocate right now. Open the window, you'll be fine.
Eli's like throwing up.
No, man, we've coughed so hard we start gagging. We're like spitting up a bunch of stuff. Our eyes are all red.
Yeah, but that was my service to the community. I clean up your system.
Detoxification.
Yes, I clean up your pipes, windpipes. you can breathe better.
Free home gassing. All the cucarachas inhale that too.
Oh,
Outside.
God. Thank God we had a good
Outside.
They'd be dead too. Oh my God. Thank you for blessing me this morning. Just remember, be the difference that you want to see in the world. Be kind.
Rich.
Be kind. Be loving. Be gentle. Be graceful. Be like Jesus. Love Jesus. Be like Jesus. Love like Jesus. There you go. That's my motto. There you go. There's a life lesson for you. So take that with you, girl.
I'll start on trying to be like.
Yes, it's a good thing.
I just tell myself, what would my mom do? Because a lot of the times, what Jesus would do, for sure as hell, I would not do. He's like, turn the other cheek. My mom's like, turn the other cheek, but pray for them. You know. That's crazy.
Remember, what did I say?
Hate the sin, not the sinner.
Yes, yes.
No, what were you going to say?
Love Jesus, be like Jesus, love like Jesus. That's how I try to live my life.
Yeah.
There you go. Take that with
you.
you. Have a great day. Love you.
I love you.